This is probably going to be a longer video as there were 11 goals in this game and every single one of them mattered. Avs lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-5. Sorry this video is so late. The 17th was my birthday and I had some pre-plans for that, so I am now recording the video that night. The first period was pretty even overall, which I'd count as a win for the Avs given how good Tampa is. The Avs did get 2 power plays and failed to score on both of them, but they did look fairly decent, at least getting some good shots on net. Bernier also looked quite solid in net in the first. Unfortunately, that would not last. Ultimately, the Avs get outshot 15-11 in the first, but you'll take the 0-0 tie at the first intermission. 2.5 minutes into the second period, the Avs get their 3rd power play of the game and fail to score once again. Now, the end case was the Avs actually did okay on the power play tonight, but going 0 for your first 3 in the game really hurts against a team like Tampa. It's a way to get out ahead and play from ahead, but the Avs failed to do that. The first half of the second does seem to be the slow period for Avs games, and that was the case in this one as well, with both teams not really doing a whole lot and getting clogged up in the neutral zone. Then, 8 minutes in, the Avs and the Lightning get matching minors to go to 4-on-4, and just like that, the wheels come off entirely. Not much of an excuse here on the 4-on-4. You have Lindholm as the defenseman on the far side and Barberio as the defenseman out of frame on the near side here. Hedman has the puck in the Tampa Bay zone. He's just going to wait patiently and then make a great pass to Kucherov all the way through the neutral zone. And as you can see, Barberio gets caught up way too high and Lindholm just gets cleanly beat by his man, leaving a breakaway for Kucherov. And when Kucherov goes in, he usually scores 1-0 Bolts. So that wasn't great. If you want to stick in the NHL, you cannot get caught like that. And it doesn't get any better. Just 19 seconds later, still on the 4-on-4, the Avs would get beat again. Tyler Johnson is coming in on the far side and is going to go all the way in and around behind the net. Girard is going to stick with him through all of that. As that's happening, Johnson is going to slide over to the far side to keep covering Palat. So that leaves McKinnon as the 3rd forward with 4-on-4. There's only 2 forwards, so Rantanen is the 4th, also needing to play defense. As Johnson comes around on the near side, McKinnon is also going to slide over to create a 2-on-1. At that point, you can't let a pass come through across the slot. That's exactly what's going to happen. Rantanen does do a good job of getting a piece of it, being the forward still in the slot, but he does not do a good enough job as it kind of just bounces away from his stick, and you can already see Strawman coming in to collect it, and then he beats Bernier. So after playing a very solid 29 minutes of hockey, you suddenly find yourself down 2 goals in the blink of an eye. But we weren't done yet. There's still 2 more wheels to come off this baby. Less than 2 minutes later, Hedman and Kucherov are going to connect again. Hedman is receiving the puck here at the blue line. He's going to do a quick one-touch pass for a give and go down to Kucherov as he comes up the far boards. Hedman's going to go around the near side of Como. As the pass heads towards Kucherov, you can see all 5 Avalanche players turn and get caught puck watching. Particularly Como is not able to recover here as Hedman easily sneaks in past him. Soderberg charges down Kucherov, but it leaves a wide seam, easy pass for Kucherov across to Hedman. Hedman then has a ton of space to walk into, having clearly beat Como. Nemeth is tied up with his man in front, can't do anything as the defenseman, and Hedman really doesn't make that much of a move, but Bernier commits wholeheartedly and gets easily beat. Just a disaster for all 6 Avs players on the ice there. Poor defense by all 5 skaters, poor man marking, and even worse passing lane coverage, and then Bernier just got deked out of his jock. So things have gone from bad to worse now, and 2 minutes later we cap it off. A bit of a slow developing 3-on-2 rush for Tampa. Kucherov with the puck in the neutral zone is going to slowly work his way down and take the blue line on the near side as the Avs D and Johnson and Girard back off. Once they do get the blue line, it has about evened up to a 3-on-3 play here as Como has gotten back. Kucherov is going to look to make a pass behind Johnson to try and hit Killorn coming in. While it's not going to connect exactly, it is going to take an odd bounce off of the two players and come across the ice. Bernier has already committed to going down on this play as it gets tipped here, so he is not able to reset and push off to cover the far side, which is where the puck is going to head. From there, Gord is going to have a strong stick and beat out Como here. He does not get much on this puck, but because Bernier couldn't get across, it's enough to put it into the back of the net. You hate to play the what-if game, but you kind of have to think of those 4 goals. Varley would have been at least able to stop one of them. After a strong first period, it was unfortunate to see Bernier struggle this badly. And granted, no small part of this is on the defense. They certainly get an F grade for tonight as well. So at this point, you're pretty much ready to pack it in, but for some reason, maybe because I'm not the most intelligent person in the world, I watch the rest of the game anyway. And sometimes being dumb pays off. Less than a minute after Tampa's 4th goal, the Avs would finally get on board from the man who's leading by example. The play starts with a nice stretch pass from Zadorov, catching Tampa Bay changing. He goes up the near side and finds Yakupov, who then takes the blue line. From there, Yakupov walks in, gets 2 defenders on him, and recognizes that Landy has beaten his man up the far side off the bench. He just throws it off his backhand across ice. Nobody but Landy can get to it, and Landy makes sure to finish. Boy, did it feel like that goal came about 5 minutes too late. At the time, to me, it really did feel like a nothing goal, as if it wasn't going to matter at all, but boy, how wrong I was about that. It is worth noting, Yakupov back in the lineup in this one, and he picks up a point. It was confusing to me why he stayed out of the lineup for as long as he did. I'm not sure if he was actually that sick to miss that many games or not. I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but it looks like he'll probably be staying in the lineup now. In the end of the second, we get into some shenanigans. The Avs end up getting a great chance with the puck sitting in the crease and a wide open net right in front of Nathan MacKinnon. But as MacKinnon reaches in to try and poke the puck into the net, he gets slashed hard right on the stick and even catches some of his hand by Hedman. That slash goes uncalled, and the Avs end up not scoring on an incredible chance because of it. So instead of it being 4-2 and the Avs back in it somewhat, it remains 4-1 and things are looking bleak, and they would only get bleaker for the Avalanche. A few minutes later, Eric Johnson would get called for a slashing call on the hands of Nemesnikov. It absolutely was a slashing call, but Johnson was clearly frustrated by this. And unfortunately, he decided to let out his frustrations by sending a cross-check right into Nemesnikov's numbers. We now know that Johnson got suspended 2 games for that play, and I have no problem with it. It was a dangerous play and not something he should do, and I'm sure he knows better than that. And now in the game, the Avs have to kill off a 5-minute major penalty. So yeah, a comeback is pretty much the furthest thing from your mind at this point. The one bright note is they do manage to kill off that 5 minutes through the end of the second and the start of the third. But shortly after they kill it off, less than 3 minutes into the third, Tampa Bay with what feels like a gigantic death blow. Pretty much this play for the millionth time. Puck goes to the corner. All the Avs collapse, and they don't cover the passing lane. It comes across to the far side. Waiting there is Anton Strahlman. He unloads a shot. Bernier actually even gets a piece of this one, but can't find a way to stop it, and it goes in the net. And at the time, I was like, all right, well, more bad defense and another bad goal from Bernier. Does it really matter? Yeah. Turned out it mattered a lot. All right, so at this point, even I was like, okay, let's just hurry up and get this thing over with. What a fool I was to think that. While the Avs seemingly completely discombobulated and having no idea what to do tonight, there was one man who knew exactly what to do, and it was his time to take this game over. Less than 5 minutes into the third, the captain would put up a goal for the Avalanche again. This play starts with Landeskog, McKinnon, and even Rantanen working hard down in the corner to eventually win a puck away from the Lightning. Once they finally cleanly do get it away from the Lightning, it ends up coming back to the far point to Barrie. Barrie quickly just throws a shot in, and as he does that, out of frame right now, you have Landeskog working his tail off to get himself in front of this net. He does so, manages to tip it off his stick, and beat Budaj. Hard work gets rewarded, another goal for Landeskog, but realistically, at this point, I was thinking that's just a nothing goal, another stat patter for him. But Landeskog, he had something else in mind. A minute and a half after Landeskog's second goal, Tampa Bay takes another penalty. Now, you weren't hoping for a whole lot, because you know the Avs power play has been bad this year, but I actually figured they'd score on this one, because it wouldn't matter. Or so I thought. Not much to this one. Rantanen's just going to send the puck up to Barrie at the point. Landeskog is going to slide in front for the screen. The two things to note here are, one, Barrie actually gets the shot all the way through. That's kind of necessary for scoring goals. And number two, Landeskog is just a man on a mission. He somehow finds a way to get his stick on this shot, and the bounce goes for him, and it's a 2-goal game. And just like that, now you're on a roller coaster. Landeskog with a hat trick for all three of the Avs goals to this point to get them back in this game. And there would be 0 breaks on this roller coaster. A minute and a half after that goal, Tampa Bay takes yet another penalty. And now that the Avs got the monkey off their back, you're real interested to see this one. Alright, so Landeskog got a hat trick. Who's next up on the list to score a goal? Come on, you already know who it's going to be. There's no need for analysis when McKinnon gets filthy. Just watch and listen. Even when he's playing second fiddle to Landeskog, Mac is just ridiculous. As the punches keep coming, about a minute later, both teams would take penalties just 8 seconds apart, and we would go back to 4-on-4, which is totally cool, right? We're not horrible at 4-on-4 or anything. Spoiler alert, we are. The Avs just not know that the off-puck point exists. Puck is coming in down the far side boards. Comper is going to stay high on the far side. You have Girard as the defenseman. And then you have Landeskog coming in as the fourth player back for the Avs. He's going to attack the puck carrier. While that's happening, you have Sergachev diving into the zone, forcing Zadorov back. This leaves no one covering the fourth man in for Tampa, and they do not do a good enough job to get in the passing lane for that. That leaves a wide open player with a ton of room to walk in. The puck doesn't actually go in off of a nice save. It's going to bounce out, but the Avs can't recover and collect the rebound. It comes to Sergachev. Sergachev just seemingly throws it out in front, and with a bit of bad luck, it bounces off of Landeskog's skate and past Bernier. Alright, so while the coverage on the initial part of the play was poor, that was just some bad luck with a bounce like that. But this brings us back to the situation where, at a certain point, you need your goalie to make a save. And I'm not expecting him to make that one. That one was pretty much unstoppable. There was no way he was going to be able to react to that. But at a certain point in a game, if you want to stay in it, it's going to come down to your goalie. And tonight, whatever it was, Bernier just didn't have it. The good news is the Avs would not say die after that one. 2.5 minutes after the 6-4 goal, McKinnon would bring it to within 1 again. Landeskog is going to take the offensive zone on the far boards here and pull up. From there, he's going to do a nice job hitting Zadorov as the 5th man in. Tampa Bay's 5th man in is gassed entirely and can't keep up at this point, so Zadorov is all alone coming into the zone, and he has a good amount of space to skate into. He's going to use that space effectively and eventually take a shot with McKinnon standing right in front. Somehow, they say McKinnon does manage to get his stick just barely on this puck, and it floats into the top corner. And now the score is 6-5 on the Avs end, basically because of 2 or 3 players. Ultimately, the Avs can't complete the comeback and pick up that 6th goal, and the loss comes in. Okay, obviously, defensively and in goal, the Avs were clearly outclassed tonight and just didn't have it. The hero was obviously Landeskog, involved in all 5 goals for the Avs. So not just a hat trick, but assists on both of McKinnon's goals as well. He was clearly a man possessed tonight, and I honestly feel bad for him that he didn't get very much support offensively from the Avs. Obviously, you have McKinnon with his 2 goals as well. Barry picks up a 3-point night. Zadorov with a 2-point night. And then you also have 1 point for Rantanen and Yakupov. So when you think about that, you have some decent involvement from your defensemen in the production, but for forwards, you have the McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen line, and 1 point from Yakupov was the only other forward production you got. That's not good enough. On the scoreboard, I love this loss. 6-5, I'll take that all year long. If the Avs are scoring goals consistently, that's what I want to see. On the actual score sheet, when you see it's all Landeskog and McKinnon on the one hand, that's great because you know the core pieces to this team are capable of getting it done. But the fact that literally no one else is even recording a secondary assist, that's a big red flag. The Avs desperately need to figure out a way to get more production out of their depth forwards. If they can do that, then we're talking. Until then, just be happy for some exciting hockey and the fact that we kept up with one of the best teams in the league, putting up 19 shots in that last period. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and that was a long one.